next week and do this one.
Mate, we promised it. We've
Broncos,
got to stick through
good.
it here. Broncos,
end.
the gains, Fletcher Baker, Roosters, Jaden Hunt, the Dragons. Losses, Kurt Capewell to the Warriors, Herbie Farnworth, Dolphins, Thomas Flegler, Dolphins. It's been a good one. Keenan, Palacia, Titans, Ethan Kwai Ward released as well. The re-signings, a couple of the key ones, Jesse Arthur's 26, Carrigan 28, Payne Haas 26, Jensen 25, Mariner 27, Oates 24, Pakes 25, Tristan Saylor 25, Martin Tapau 2024, and a big one off contract, Adam Reynolds this year. So there'll be a lot to see what will happen with him throughout the year.
And Smoothie. And Walters.
Yeah, and Smoothie, Walters. There is a bit. Obviously, I was just trying to. There's heaps. We can go through the whole list. Hoyter, Deloise Hoyter would be in demand as well, I think.
Now, in my defense, I made these slides. I do remember this one. It was about quarter to 12 after a late fortnight session. So that's my only excuse there for Thomas.
So about the time it is now.
And the Dolphins.
Thoughts on this one? I don't mind the gains. I think the losses are massive. I'm going to go out and say it right now. I see the Broncos slipping a touch this year. I know a lot of people have them to win the comp and things like that. Capewell, big last year, senior player. Farnworth, I think, was one of their best players last year. Flegler was such a good person to have alongside Hassel when he needed a break and things like that. And Keenan Palacia, do not underestimate his game last year and especially his role in the grand final. I thought that was huge. So I think there's quite a lot of quality players lost there for the Broncos, which will hurt them.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Dolphins have picked up quite nicely with those two. And we spoke about the Warriors gain with Kurt Capewell. And when we heard that was going to happen and we thought it was rumors and then it actually happened. So they are some losses for the Broncos. Do I think it's going to affect their opportunity to still finish top four? Probably not. I still think they're going to be there and abouts.
I do as well. Adam?
Yeah, I've jumped above him now because he had that little brief moment. Looking through the gains and losses, like he's obviously touched on, just looking at the off contract, I feel like there's a bit of poor management going here by the Broncos. I think Reynolds potentially could retire at the end of the year, but they've got 3/4 of their spine off contract. They've got Billy Walters, Mann, and Reynolds all off contract at the end of 2024. We've seen with other teams, obviously the distraction that contract negotiations can cause. Now, based off the grand final last year, if Ezra can come out in the first 3-4 weeks and produce what he did, he's going to be the most in-demand player in the competition. There's going to be teams circling for him everywhere. That's going to be a massive distraction. I guess looking at Reynolds as well and the age of Reynolds, if I'm trying not to get into concerns here, it's kind of thing, but the age of Reynolds, if he does get an injury and you've got that going on with Mann, I just think they should have had that sorted. Like they should have had Ezra straight into there. Yep.
Breaking news 3 hours ago. Ezra Mam has agreed to terms on a $3 million plus extension in a major contract coup as the Broncos look to break in the 18-year-old title drought. So it seems like
you could have updated your fucking list. You would have saved me the last 2.5 minutes of your life.
But hey, this is live radio.
All right. Well,
again, breaking news with League of Inches.
Forget everything I just said. Ezra Man. It's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. They've signed him, so they've got that done. Move on.
Micka, welcome back. What are your thoughts on the Bronx?
Yeah, they'll be in the top four again. I've got no doubt. Especially if Walsh sticks to form. Someone asked earlier who we thought the best halves combination in the comp was, if we thought it was Parramatta or not. I actually think it's either Storm or Brisbane. I just think when you look at the two of the halves together as a combination, Reynolds and Mam are up there with Hughes and Munster, in my opinion.
Based on last year, can you base that this year after what Ezra produced last year and probably wanting to assert a bit of dominance with an aging halfback?
I don't think it makes a difference, to be honest. And I said all along,
let's look at the Roosters. Let's look at the Roosters the year they were meant to win the comp. Obviously, after they went on that run with Sam Walker with Kiri out, then Kiri comes back in. I can see a similar thing happening with Brisbane there. There's going to be a bit of a power struggle.
Yeah, but Mam's still he's a good running 6. He's not the leader.
I was going to say there's a halves pairing that has won the comp the last 3 years that I think would be the top of the list.
Yeah,
as a couple. No. You need to
Oh,
listen to what I said. I said as a halves pairing, Nathan Cleary won those comps, and he would have done it with any number 6 beside him.
He's right, Shout out to the Penrith listeners. Hoping you tuned in this
honestly,
week.
I don't want another week of this.
Hang on. As seen by Jack Cogger making Penrith look better in the grand final, and he's a reserve grade player. So if you look at the
playing
halves
New South Wales Cup for the night
as a couple, as a halves combination, I don't think like Nathan Cleary is the best half in the comp. He's not part of the best halves combination due to Luai.
So a question on Mam. So what was it? 3 million for 3 years? Is that reported? Is that what it is?
It just said multi-year deal.
Okay, so let's guess it's around that $1 million.
That's more than one, Joel.
Yeah, well, he's not going to sign for 2 years and be getting 1.5 million. Come on.
So
it's at least 3 years, maybe
3 million.
4.
Yeah.
It's still decent money for Mam, and no doubt, like his grand final performance was remarkable. Was the rest of the year as good as that contract's making it out to be? Because attack-wise, I think he was great in open space, but does he have all the chinks to his armor at the moment to be a top-quality 5'8"? Like, if you had the choice between him or Dylan Brown to sign for a new club, I'd be signing Dylan Brown every day of the week.
How old is he? Sorry, I don't.
18.
Genuine question.
He
Man.
was 18 last year, so he'd be 19 this year.
Oh, yeah, that's a great deal. 18-year-old halves have a lot of maturing to do. The stuff you're worried about comes with time.
Can they do it without Reynolds? Is he going to be that good without Reynolds?
Well, he's got a lot to learn in this year. If this is Reynolds' last year, he has a lot to learn. So hopefully he's bringing his notebook and pen to training every week and watching heaps of video and listening to Reynolds.
Yeah.
If that's a Broncos thought pattern, is he's the next in line to take over Reynolds and become the halfback, I've got no problem with them investing into their future. I'm just get worried when a lot of these young players get onto these massive contracts straight away. I know they've kind of got it because of the other clubs circling. It just comes with so much unnecessary pressure, I think. And like the Broncos are a massive club coming off the year that they had, finishing agonizingly short of that grand final victory, which most of us thought by 60 minutes was wrapped up. I feel like that sort of contract can do a lot to Mam in a negative way, not a positive way.
Depends on the people around him. Depends on the club that he's at as well. And I do believe that the Broncos have the right people behind the doors looking after these young guys. And that's where I think the difference is in terms of clubs.
Yeah, Andrew, we'll get you a late slip. It's all good.
Don't worry, I've got a number in my phone, Andrew.
Jesus Christ.
Any other concerns for the Bronx boys?
Oh dear.
Concerns.
We've gone off the rails.
No concerns.
Not that we haven't already spoken about.
What about can you see him winning the comp? Anyone here you haven't winning the comp?
I don't have them winning the comp. I have it as their pass mark. So for them, if they're doing an evaluation of themselves, I have winning the competition as a pass mark for them.
Josh says he does. Can you just quickly write in an explanation why you haven't winning the comp, Josh? We might go through that one because that could be a good fall.
I'm assuming their draws are very favourable again.
It always is.
Not to start with. I'm pretty sure it's pretty hard to start with.
Yeah, right.
But I think they get a lot of Friday games in that as the Broncos.
Does that say Friday night? Who's playing? It's the Broncos.
Yeah, I understand it though.
Friday night footy.
You need a team from Queensland to play to get all your Queensland viewers, don't you? Who are they going to put on the fucking viewers. Titans?
Hey, don't write the Titans off this year. We've had our preview of them. They're looking all right.
I think we're drained from the Knights Eels chat.
Yeah, I think we are. So
yeah, we are.
Sorry, Broncos. You're going to win the comp at the end.
And Reece Wolf's play fullback for Queensland.
rankings and ratings for the Bronx boys. We'll start it quickly. If old man River stays fit, this is
Reynolds.
Josh. Old man River stays fit. So Reynolds, another year of experience. Penrith's bench and depth is weaker now. They know they can beat them if they just manage the last 20 better. I'd also argue the Broncos bench has gotten weaker. So you sort of checkmate each other there. But there's no Flegler, no Palacia. So we'll see what happens. Like, I'm not writing the Broncos off at all. They can do it. I just think they are weaker than last year's team. So
Farnworth's a big loss.
That's a bit eye-opening. Farnworth's massive. So, Micka, I'll start at you. Work up your ratings and rankings for the Broncos.
They'll be 1 to 4. I don't know. There's some big losses, Catewell, Farnworth, and Flegler. So I'm going to give them let's go 5.
And Adam?
Yeah, I'm going to give them a 5 as well. Like I said, what they kind of lost. I guess they didn't need to sign too much, but I don't really know what the replacement options they've got there. I think they're probably a couple of injuries away from having a very unsuccessful season with what the players they've lost. But I've got them 5 to 8. I've got them suffering a bit of
They're going to pick up, what's his name, from the retirement of the Bulldogs?
Tavita Pengai Jr. Yeah, he won't help their backline. That I feel like they need some depth in. 5 to 8. I've got them suffering a bit of a gambling hangover. Wow, grand final hangover, and starting the season pretty slow, but getting there.
Before we get to yours, Jez, just a quick question which we should have touched on actually, because it is a big move for the Bronx. Cobbo to the center. I don't like it. I think he's established himself as quite a good winger. I don't know if he's developed his game enough to be the quality center at the moment. I know there's been talk about him becoming a fullback later in his career. I just would have left him at the wing for now. But for more reports, Corey Oates is looking fit as this year, and he's basically
purely just to fit Corey Oates into the team. Like, is this the reason behind it? Yeah.
Apparently, he's impressed more than I think Mariner has, and they need to put Oates in the team. So, but if that's the case, fair enough. I just defensively as well, I'm a bit worried for him because Cobbo can't read the defense as well as he probably should be at center. So that's definitely something that if I was an opposition team, I'd be targeting straight away, especially early on in the season. Jez?
Yeah, I've got a 5. Their losses with Capewell, Farnworth, Flegler, I thought they were quite large, but then having a look at their re-signings and where they're aiming, what they want to do in the next couple of years has kind of brought that score back up. So I've got a 5, and I've got them finishing in 1 to 4. I just think they'll be there again and probably look to go one better, as I said.
Happy looking at the re-signing list, Pat Carrigan's in there, Payne Haas is in there, a couple of really big names which they'll be glad to get. So I'm going to give them a 6.5, just to touch above Parramatta, just because of those quality players there that they've kept. I'm with you, Jez. I got 1 to 4, but for some reason, I just feel like a little bit they lack a bit and they won't make the grand final, but happy to be proven wrong. I did really enjoy watching the Broncos last year. So if they bring that entertaining football once again, I'll be happy chappy watching the league this year. So that's all we've got time for.